after it goes through the pinch section in the collector, it flares back out. It's just like a two-stroke pipe. The reason you see a two-stroke go, flare out, and then get into a really large section, definitely looks cooler.
Still pushing like a cat to him. Homie spotted me like 700, brought 1100 right back to him. If I can't do it, then it ain't real. I just make dollars, I don't make deals. I've been going hard in the paint, still blowing kush clouds till I can't feel like. Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like.
It's definitely a trick to getting this one in there with the studs in. You got to go under from the front, then you can roll it back. Slide it on. I don't really need to go crazy here. I just need it to kind of mock up, sit very close to the location it's going to be so I can start working on that downpipe. As you can see in the back, I'm set up for success. I think it's pointed right at it. All I got to do really is shorten the downpipe I've got to fit in the flex section. So let's get underneath and see what we're working with. Ah, shit. Jesus. Yeah. Alright. You can see now. You got a good view. This is that downpipe I'd already made. This is the header. Very, very close here. I just need to... Oh yeah. It's still going to be a tight fit. I'm going to have to V-band directly on this. So this is the transition from round to oval. Might be able to see a little better from this side. Round, oval. I've got two sections here, so I can only cut so much out of this, you know. If we're looking at the length of this, I need my tape measure. Of course, don't have that. So I can cut these tacks and pull some of the section out of this, maybe an inch or so. Give me a little more room to work in this round area, because of course this is round. So, alright, so let me get a tape measure and see what I'm working with. This is the V-band that Danny sent with the header. So we'll go ahead and use that. Oh look, he's already put a little stub section on there. I actually have some of my own V-bands, so I'm not 100% going to be using this, because this might kind of fuck me due to my lack of straight section that I really have here. But you look at that weld. Look how pretty that weld is. Very nice. We'll see if we can use that, but I'm not sure we can. Okay, there's just a vibrant 3-inch V-band that I already had. This isn't going to work out very well. I don't know what the fuck's the deal with these vibrant flexes, but by the looks of it, it would be nice if the pipe would slip over that, and then you could weld against this little L edge there, you know what I mean? If it slipped up on that, you could just weld right there. But this is supposed to be a 3-inch flex, which it is, ID. I guess I need like a just over 3 1/4 flare section to. So if I could get a piece of 3 1/4 flared down to 3, I could slide it over that. And I think I need to maybe look a little deeper, look a little harder into getting me a better fit on this, and I can't do that here. I don't have any flaring tools, so damn it. So I guess I'll just need to grab a different project and move forward on something else. Maybe brake lines. Alright, what's up guys? So, fast forward from last week, where I was not super happy with vibrant flex, exhaust flex section, because of how weird it's going to be to weld it. So, I bought a bellows style flex. Definitely looks cooler. This one's on no shit, just right off eBay. It's got like this intersection, allows everything to move around. any sways. But what I didn't know is it necks down inside, and obviously to operate it has to work like that. But that means this isn't a true 3" all the way through. It actually is about 2 3/4. Can't really see. It's kind of hard to get a measurement on it. It might even be a little less than 2 3/4. So I'm not real happy with that, because this car is going to make a lot of power. My theory with exhaust systems is you want the exhaust system to be very large, so it acts like the header is the end of the exhaust system. Like after it goes through the pinch section in the collector, it flares back out. It's just like a 2-stroke pipe. The reason you see a 2-stroke go flare out and then get into a really large section is because that really large section of the exhaust pipe mimics atmosphere, and whenever you change the volume of that chamber that quickly, it causes the pulse to turn around and head back the other way. So same thing goes for a 4-stroke engine. It's just not quite as critical. To get that pulse to turn around and head back and act like the header is short, you want your exhaust after the pinch to be large and to open up. That way you can localize the turnaround of the pulse, and then that way you can use the header to truly kind of tune your system, as opposed to having to use the whole exhaust system to tune your system. It's a much easier way to kind of localize that. So what I don't want is to come out of the header and then pinch back down and then to go big again, because again, like I said, I want that exhaust to mimic atmosphere. Now, there's multiple things in my routing that make this not quite ideal, which is the problem with full exhaust systems. What I did was I put a resonator under the middle of the car to further create a large body of atmosphere in the exhaust system, as close to the front as I could get. Now I couldn't get it super close, because as soon as I come down out of the engine bay, there's a very tight section where I can't fit anything big. It goes oval, and then it turns, and then it goes up to the middle of the car, and then that's where my resonator sits, and that's as close as to the front as I can get the resonator to sit. I have some ideas that I do plan to visit probably after I dyno. What I'll do is I'll dyno with the full exhaust system. I will pull off the exhaust system and basically dyno open header and note the difference. And if it's substantial, if it's over 5 horsepower, if it's approaching 10 horsepower or more, then what I'm going to do is whenever my exhaust goes into oval pipe, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the oval pipe in half, and I'm going to flare it out, make it wider, because I can go wider, I just can't go deeper because of ground clearance. And I will create a larger oval pipe earlier to create a bigger exhaust system and to create that bigger atmosphere earlier in the system. So, long story short, I'm not going to put a 2 3/4 pinch on my pipe, so we're back to the original Vibrant Flex that is truly 3" through the middle. Downside is that it's just I just think that's going to be a kind of awkward weld. It's going to be kind of an ugly, awkward weld. But I've done some research, and I think it's doable, and I think it's possible. So we're going to move forward. So, first things first. Learn how to operate the gimbal. First thing, I'm going to go ahead and grind down this last little bit of wire, so I'm not welding so much here. I want to weld up against this piece of metal, so I'm going to grind down this flush, and then I'm going to slide my tube in, because that's another nice thing about this, is the 3" will truly slide inside, and I'm going to slide that down until my V-band is right on this edge, and I'm going to weld basically right there V-band to this. And then on the other side, I'm gonna slide my downpipe in and weld right on that edge. So that's the plan. Let's get moving. Got that all taken down to this pinch ring, or whatever you want to call it. And I went ahead and deburred the inside edge, both sides. I'm kind of struggling for space to fit this 4-inch long flex into my downpipe, because that header is so far back. The transition from circular to oval is already pretty short, and I'm gonna have to cut the tacks and shorten it a little more just to fit this in, so I'm already struggling for space. So any way I can thin up this package, the better. So there's really no point in me doing this other than a little bit of added strength. I can really get away. I actually can put this in the lathe and turn down just the first little bit of this to actually go inside of this. That's actually probably the best option here. Interesting idea, Matt. Thanks. Let's do that. Put this in the lathe and turn it down. I'm going to turn down this edge in the lathe to go inside of here and sink this V-band as tight up in as I can. Check your zeros. Ooh, and remember this one. Not that I'll be using it, but I'm just curious. Ooh, see that? 1/8 thou off. So that depth one is not quite accurate. You little shits. So it's just over 3-inch. Okay. 3/100. So it's 100 thou. Okay, there you go. I should make a decent weld. I could probably just fuse most of this down. So let's pull this off. Double check that the V-band will still work. Actually, let's do a little deburr. No, I don't need to deburr that. That. Alright, so you can see here, there's the exit of the header, and that flex is going to be over 4-inch. So there's 4-inch, and as you can see, it goes round to oval. So what I'm going to have to do is cut these tacks and take probably 1 inch out of it and slide this down to make my cut up here come out in the circle. That way I can get the V-band on it and get a nice weld. So I'm gonna pull this downpipe out, cut these tacks, remove this, bolt up the back section again, and then just work with this piece alone. Oh yeah, the oval.
Nice.
It is cool, isn't it? I've never used it before.
Was it pretty salty or is it reasonable? It's probably a little bit more expensive, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's a little more, but it was okay. I don't even fucking remember, to be honest. I just ignore it all now.
Yeah,
I spent.
saw the total cost. You probably go.
Yeah, I spent $400 on 10 foot of line and one fitting the other day. God damn, that sucked. Alright, so learned something just now. There's two sides to a V-band. One side's like, got the instep. The other side has a female version, so male and female. So, that way whenever they locate on each other, they have like they interlock. And it's just for alignment, but what I didn't realize is I grabbed technically the wrong one for what I'm planning on do here, because Danny left a lip on this one to go in to the next step, and you can see the one he provided me with has a big step on it. So not the end of the world. I just need to take the one that I cut in the lathe and machine off that step and create the step to go over that pipe. I've got Danny's V-band, so I'll use that for measurements. I need to go 185, and then I also need to keep in mind that this isn't perfectly accurate. This one is 7th thou negative, so how about we just do this? Okay, so look, I just zeroed the depth part of this caliper. So that's a 176. So I need to create from this flat 176 cut to mimic that. So I'll always bring that over and lock it. Alright, there we go. Alright. That does not give me much room. Jesus, that is so close. Alright, doable though. Alright. Get out of there. Alright, I need to tack this. Now that I've got everything tacked up, it's basically the home stretch here now, and I won't be welding this up in this video. I'm still in the fabrication mock-up phase of all this, so I will go back and final weld all this after I get everything finalized, and basically whenever the car goes off to paint, I'll pull this all off and I will weld it all up on the bench, back purge, the whole nine. So you can see here it's all tacked up and that's good to go. Move on to the next project.
Blowing kush clouds till I can't feel like ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like